Hello everyone, welcome back to Real Reds, talking authentic football fan channel made in Manchester. And Man United have just beaten Leicester 3-0 and plenty of positives to talk about, lads. But what I'm going to do is, which one do you want to start with? Because I've got a couple in my mind. But what stood out to you in that game, Civir?
I'm sure Ahmad is going to be one of your positives, so yeah, I'll probably leave that to you. I think we're just seeing, the performances are getting slightly just better and better, right? Just slightly. Every other game is better than the last one. Obviously, there were points in the game, especially when the second half started, that it was a bit flat. But overall, this performances are getting better. Individual performances as well are improving, and we seem to be building some kind of momentum. But I think the biggest positive is that Van Nistelrooy has sort of steadied the ship before Amorim comes in. So we haven't really fallen back in terms of dropped too many points. Yeah, it's just something that Amorim can kind of build on now. Players have a bit of confidence going in. Well, most of them, not all of them. Obviously, I'm sure we'll go over some of the terrible performances. But yeah, I think generally it's positive, and it's a good send-off of Van Nistelrooy, I think.
Absolutely. We're currently 6 subscribers off 7,400. So if you are just joining, deserves a subscribe. Smash a like on the video for us as well. Sam, what stood out to you in that one for personally? Because like I said, there was a few, weren't there? But it's nice to smile, I suppose.
Yeah, there's a couple of players that I think stood out really, really well. I think Ugarte finally looks like he's been a part of this team. Yeah. Really solid performance, some interceptions, some good passing. There was a pass over the top, which was phenomenal from him, like really, really good.
Left foot to Garnacho, wasn't it?
Right. I think he's slowly starting to become in his team, and with Ruben Amorim coming in, that's gonna elevate further because he knows exactly what he's about. Mazraoui.
Can I just say something? Yeah. Everyone's hoping for Amorim to come in.
Yeah.
Because Ugarte used to be one of his players.
Yeah.
Remember when we had Donny?
Yeah. It'd be funny if he just drops him and goes, nah.
Don't even joke about that. Don't even joke about
that. Every day I see Mazraoui, I think we have robbed Bayern Munich blind here, haven't we? Like, how have they sold him for 15 million?
Yeah,
it's ridiculous, man. How good this guy is. Like, he's phenomenal. We
say it every week, don't we? He's so good.
The price as well.
Ridiculous price, man. Like, they must be going, we sold him for how much? Shit.
Mad, isn't
it? Like, so yeah, they stood out to me. And then obviously I'll let you talk about Ahmad because I thought he was excellent as well. Professional performance. Leicester didn't really offer much, to be honest with you. There wasn't much from them. Buonanotte is probably their only player where you thought maybe he could do something. But apart from that, I thought we had our foot on the game for most of it. Second half was a bit duller than the first half. But yeah, happy with it. 3 goals, 3 points.
I'm going to talk about Ahmad in a minute because I think I deserve a couple of minutes on Ahmad. So I'll get into that momentarily. But Ruud Van Nistelrooy has just received a standing ovation from the Stretford end. And rightfully so, because I think, taking over the club at such an unstable period, I know these people always got about the manager bounce, but it's never a given, is it, really? And I know, some of the games where, you look at PAOK and Leicester, some more favourable games, but I still think he did okay against Chelsea as well. United currently sit 4 points off the top 4. The table's a bit crazy this year. He's left it in good hands for Ruben in that sense, hasn't he, Civir?
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think there wasn't that much of a bounce, when the new manager comes in. I think it was just more. I think we discussed it a few times, you and I, when we're talking about how it feels like the players just have a bit more freedom under the manager. We're seeing Bruno in more advanced areas more times during the game. Like he's not always back like before. He's more pushing up forward. He's almost one of the first people in that first line of attack. So I think it's more than just manager bounce. I think he's done well. And even though in terms of similarity with Ten Hag, even though we set up the same way, I think the difference with him and Ten Hag and fans need to recognize this as well is that after the games, especially after I can't remember what game it was, the Chelsea game, I think. He wasn't full of praise. Ten Hag, even if we played rubbish, he'd be full of praise of his players.
Yeah.
And then the difference is Mr. Rose, it's not good enough. We really, really need to pick up.
The first half, he said, didn't he? It was first half.
Yeah. He was critical of not just the players, but like the whole team. And then also, Van Nistelrooy doesn't reward bad performances. Like, how early did Marcus Rashford and Thingy come off? Like, it was 56 minutes.
Yeah, that's what
When
I
he
love
takes up
about.
Rashford.
Love
Yeah,
And
took up Rashford and Diallo.
The substitutions made sense. They made sense.
Yeah.
We weren't scratching our head going, why the fuck is he like, what's he doing?
Yeah.
It made sense.
Yeah, he knew Diallo was struggling on that right-hand side. Takes him off. He knew Marcus Rashford was rubbish. Took him off. Even Hoyland was like, just poor today. And he took him off as well. And everything he did was like, he was not. Ahmad had a really good game last in the last game. He kept him on. He wasn't, so he's not rewarding bad performances. And he's rewarding good performances. So I think that's a bit of a difference with him and Ten Hag. And I think fans need to recognize that and appreciate that of Ruud. But yeah, like you said, I think he's done the best he could with what we have. I mean, the only points we dropped against Chelsea, and which is a given, we could have easily we could have easily lost that with Erik Ten Hag. So I think Ruud's done really well. He's done really well. Whether or not he stays is another thing.
Interesting one, isn't it? 4 games, 3 wins, 1 draw, 11 goals scored, 3 goals conceded for him. So that's not bad at all. And of course, we appreciate him. You can see the fans in the stadium appreciate him. And I don't know what kind of capacity he's going to be in, if he will be a coach, because usually I was saying this to Shreyas before the game kicks off, Sam. They like their own coaches, don't they? They don't really like. So I don't know how that's going to connect. I don't know if it's going to work. It'd be quite sad in it if he does go, to be fair.
Yeah, he seems like he's bringing 4 coaches over, like, and an analyst and some kind of goal. Like, he's bringing quite a few people, and I think for Ruud to go from a head coach at Feyenoord to an assistant to then just a striking coach at United, it seems a bit of too much of a downstep, I think, and it just doesn't make sense. So, yeah, to me, it'd be sad if he does leave, but it would make sense as well, because if Amorim's just going to bring a bunch of people, then it'd make sense. But yeah, it would be sad. Like, I think, like Civir said, he's steadied the ship. He's done well. Saw Andy Mitten tweet, he's got the greatest win rate of any Manchester United manager in history. So there's
really?
that.
This is more than Carrick.
Yeah, better than Carrick's.
Carrick drew one game, didn't he, as well? I mean,
did he?
Yeah. So yeah, there's that, and I think he has ambitions on being. He said in an interview, didn't he? He said he wants to be the manager one day, and it's like, does Amorim want that guy around if he's going to be the manager one day? So it's like, it is what it is. But yeah, he's a legend at United, always will be, and I hope he does come back at some point in some capacity, like if he can't stick around. But yeah, he's rightly so getting a standing ovation for what he's done.
I don't know about you boys, but I'm slightly cautious to get too ahead of myself. Not because that it weren't a good performance or there weren't individuals that performed really, really well, but I'm thinking in the back of my mind, they know Ruben's coming in next. So this is the last kind of imprint. Obviously, the coach is going to see him in training anyway, but in terms of a match day performance, in terms of picking a squad for the Leicester one, you can go off your last game as well, and this is what Ruben will kind of use as that. Whether a couple of the other players had a bit more of a spring in the step because of that, I don't know. I can only speculate. But that was just something in the back of my mind when I was watching that performance. But I did think there was quite a few good individuals, and one of them, boys, was Amad Diallo. And you know what? Watching him now for a bit, I've always known he's capable. Like, I always reference his time under Tony Mowbray at Sunderland and the qualities that he had. And you never really know if it can translate over from the Championship to the Premier League. Because you saw with Jimmy Garner, very impressive at Nottingham Forest in Champion. We was all calling him to get some minutes. It didn't really work out. Went over to Everton, and with all due respect, probably found his level, right? So it doesn't all work out. But when Amad comes in, and I look at the way he's playing at the minute, it's like his close control, how strong he is considering his size, the decision making, the fact he can go on both feet. I'm enjoying his performances at the moment, and just a couple of stats to kind of back it up. 6 attempted take-ons, 5 successful, 5 touches in the box, 4 shots, 3 tackles, 2 fouls, 1 and 1 assist for Amad tonight. Not the absolute most sparkling, amazing performance ever. That's going to fucking, but he's been really good and he's been consistent. And I think he now, not to state the obvious, Sam, needs to start on that right hand. Well, depending where Amorim's going to play him, but maybe on one of those inside roles, you reckon?
Yeah, I think I said it in the chat. It's actually criminal how he did not get time under Eric Ten Hag, and he played everybody else besides Ahmad. When you see the impacts that he has, like he played Anthony for God knows how long, and we all knew this isn't going to work. I think he played Pellistri at times. He played Bruno out there. I'm sure Mount played out there, and then Chivy's favorite player, Forson, played out there over him. So yeah, it's criminal like how he wasn't getting time when you can see the impacts that he has in the games and the sort of ability that he has. So yeah, I think he has to be under serious consideration. If we are going to play that system that Amorim, everyone's talking about, and there's the 2 10s behind it, he has to be in consideration for one of those for me. Like it has to be. Rashford and Garnacho were up and down. They're not consistent, so they can battle it out for a position. Or if you want to stick Bruno in there, I don't know how it's all going to fit, but Ahmad's definitely got to be at the top of the list for one of them.
Yeah, because Jimmy, when you look at the other two positions, again, Rasmus, I don't want to be negative, but Rasmus today, some of his touches, it was just like bouncing off him, man. It was like those school trampolines. Xerxes was okay when he came on. I thought a couple of nice touches playing him in, but he's not showing enough either. And then Garnacho I prefer as an impact sub, but then the thing is with that, we don't have a good enough left winger to start at the moment. So Ahmad, in theory, is the only one who really is nailed on, isn't it?
Yeah, but then the thing about the front three, according to what everyone was saying about Amorim, is that the two outside of the striker are not really wingers.
Yeah.
They're more like inside 10s, apparently. Yeah. And the wingers are the wing backs, basically. So it will have to be.
Do you think Rashford would be phased out then because of that, what you just said?
Well, I think this is just me thinking it, but I think Rashford might actually. I think he might actually be played as a striker.
Oh, interesting.
This is what I think, through the middle, as a striker, and not really be involved with the play, because I don't see him playing that inside 10. He doesn't have the intelligence to do that. When he has time to think, we've seen that today. When he has time to think, his decision making is terrible. He's more of an instinctive player. Get the ball, put it on his favorite foot, bang, that's it, like, sort of thing. So I don't know. Rashford might be phased out. Maybe we need to. He's our most expensive player and probably our worst player at the moment. Probably.
Yeah, he was bad today, wasn't he?
Yeah, at the moment his performances have been really, really bad. Is that a harsh thing to say?
No, I'd agree. Him and Diallo, I think, form wise, not been great at all.
Yeah, so I know he's our most expensive player. Maybe it's time he needs to change the scenery. I like Rashford, but I'm just being real. Like, I don't, unless he gets some kind of, some motivation or he drinks the Kool-Aid from this guy, from Amorim. I don't know, bro. I don't see that happening. What was the question?
I remember myself because you've gone off down a rabbit hole. I don't know. But Ahmad, he's the only main starter in the front three.
Yeah. So he might turn out because he's versatile. Yeah, that's what I want to go for. So Ahmad's versatile. He can play as a winger comfortably, and he can play, that inside 10 position.
Half space.
Yeah, the half space. So so we I think he's had a really good audition with the last 2 games. Like, he's undeniably our best attacker right now. I think it's fair to say. So yeah, he might actually have a place in this team.
With Amorim. Yeah, with Amorim coming in, Sam, those inside forward spots look interesting, innit? And obviously, we've not even spoken about Bruno Fernandes yet, who scored a banger of a goal apparently in the first one. I didn't see the first goal, so I actually don't know what it was like. Yeah. I missed it because I was helping out downstairs.
A lovely back heel from Ahmad, and then Bruno just takes on the outside of the box and then just pings it into the corner.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that one because I missed
nonchalant. It was literally he literally just walked. Like, Ahmad just walked into he walks.
Yeah.
So everyone's just like frozen for like a second, and then he just does smart back heel to Bruno. Okay. Yeah, that was it. Really good, man.
Yeah. I missed that, but I caught the second one, which was a bit. I thought the actual team build up, Sam, before it was really well worked, wasn't it?
No, it was really good. Again, Mazraoui involved, great cross into the box. And again, I thought Bruno was. I thought, he's got it off his head, and then you look at it, and it's like bounced off his thigh, and then hits the other guy's knee, and ends up in the back. It's in the back.
Did it go down as an own goal eventually? I think potentially.
It says on Sky Sports it is. So
it did.
Chivy's lost his assist point on FPL for Mazraoui.
Yeah, I know. I quickly checked on FPL, and then it was like first they gave it to him at first, and then he just reversed it.
Yeah, this is what you could have had.
But yeah, like it was good. Like, and then you thought 2-0 first half. Thought, yeah, we're good to go here. Like, really good sort of performance in the first half. Again, I thought there was a lot of moments in the final third where our passes, like the last pass, was a bit behind someone or too heavy or in front of a plate. Like, there's a lot of sort of stuff that, and I think our attack, like defensively and the midfield, seems to be getting there. Ugarte and Casemiro, like that sort of thing. And like Chivy said, Bruno playing up further up, I think that works. Our forward line's just letting us down, though. Amad aside, that forward line is just letting us down continuously.
Yeah, I don't want to keep going in on Rasmus because he is young, but I don't think he should be a starting striker for us. I really don't. I think he needs to learn his trade and then grow into the role. I think we need an experienced one just to be starting game in, game out, like someone who you know is going to give you 15, 20 goals a season, almost guaranteed. I know it's easy said than done. I know they're hard to find in Europe, but surely United can do that. It's something I'd definitely look at. But yeah, I thought Bruno Fernandes was really, really impressive. Do we think as a collective, with Ugarte and Casemiro behind him, is that the reason why he's gone levels up, or just because the manager's gone? Civir?
I think it's a case of just. I think it's just a case of freedom. Yes, that's a good point as well with Ugarte and Casemiro, because then he wouldn't feel the responsibility. He wouldn't feel like he has to drop back and sort of help, because those two have it covered. And it gives him a little bit more freedom to go forward and just try and influence the game from the top. And it just feels like, he's just, the shackles have kind of been taken off, that sort of thing. And yeah, so maybe that's one of the reasons. To be fair, like with Bruno, like apart from the goals, I think there were times when he I think sometimes he just switches off and just loses concentration sometimes. And the goals kind of cover some of the performances, if I'm being honest. But I think I just like the fact that he's occupying those areas again. I like the fact that he's being more, he's just being more expressive again with the ball. Like it's less rigid, and so that's what I like. And hopefully, we can see more of that under the new manager.
Yeah, I want to go around and give everyone the flowers. I'm going to talk about Ugarte in a minute, but just on Fernandes, Sam, I've said this before with him. Do you know when you watch like Arsenal with like Ødegaard and Saka, like when they've got that proper close relationship?
Yeah.
Amad and Bruno have that thing, don't they?
Yeah.
When they combine, and I think we need to see more of that across the pitch. Even when Mazraoui plays, he's like a green line then between the players that are around him, and I don't think we've seen that enough. But not only just play Amad for his individual qualities, but what he brings as a collective as well. You need that in there, don't you?
We've been missing familiarity, patterns and stuff like that, and it's when you're just consistently chopping and changing the team or moving people and just all that sort of stuff, which is what Ten Hag was doing consistently. You don't develop that familiarity. You don't develop those partnerships and those like connections where you go, I know he's making that run. I don't even have to look because I know he's making the run, and you just flick it and it's thing. Like Scholes used to do it all the time. Didn't Van Persie say, I didn't even have to look where Scholes was. I knew if he got that ball was coming right in front of me. I didn't even have to check. I just made the run and I knew it was coming. So that's the sort of familiarity you've got to get. And if we can sort that forward line out with Amad and Bruno and whoever and get that sorted, you'll start seeing goals. You start seeing patterns develop and stuff like that. But if you keep chopping and changing it, or you keep moving people and dropping people, or keeping people in it, like Chibi said, underperforming and not dropping them, you're never going to see that. You're not. But then you see that Mazraoui playing consistently, he's affecting the game. Ugarte playing consistently, he's affecting the game. Amad playing 2 games in a row, he's affecting games. That's what you need to see, and you need to sort of keep that going. Obviously, you got to rotate here and there, tiredness, injuries, freshen up, or give people opportunities. But when you're changing like every single week, it doesn't help the team at all.
Now, I don't want this just to be a PR piece about United, and it seems like we're very positive, and rightfully so. We've won 3-0, we've kept a clean sheet, and we're going into the international break with more positivity than if you remember the doom and gloom after the West Ham game. So I'll take that, and I'm happy with it. However, Chivi, we still remain in 13th place at the minute, so there is still a lot of work to do, isn't there?
still a lot of work. Yeah, just very quickly, I'll just add to what the question you asked, Sam, because I think that was a really, really good question there and a really good observation on your point. And I never really thought about it until now. Bruno really likes good footballers around him, like technical players around him. He combined well with Martial. He combined well with Cavani. He combined well with Pogba. He combined well with Ahmad now, Mazraoui. Like people who are comfortable on the ball and on that similar sort of wavelength.
Yeah.
Where it's just he just combines. When he goes to Portugal, he combines with the people around him.
Mm-hmm.
When he's got people like Rashford, like there's no shade on Rashford, but he's just a different profile of player. This is where, and then you're not playing consistently, like Sam said. Obviously, that chemistry is not going to flow. But if you're consistently playing around good technical footballers, it just brings out the best in everyone, right? But back to your question, we're 13th, but I thought you said just when we started the stream that we're 5 points, 4 points off.
Yeah, so they were in the league with 13th, but there's 4 points between 13th and Brighton, basically, who were in the top 4.
So, so that's kind of like a false position, I'd say, because we're 13th, but then a win or two and a loss or draw to somebody up there, and we're right in the mix. So I'm really, really happy Van Nistelrooy has been able to kind of just settle everything. It's kind of like a good feeling now. We're not going into the international break like just, over a loss or, now there's something to be optimistic about going into this international break. And I think we can actually make up the places. We probably won't, I don't want to go ahead of myself and say we'll get top 4, but we could be up there in the Europa League places at the very least.
Yeah.
And that's I'm happy. I couldn't have wished for a better sort of outcome from these last couple of games that Nistelrooy has had, and I'm happy. I'm happy that we're in this position now, and we can kind of just slowly build back up without any pressure, without any too much scrutiny, because we're back down the table. So
I think Delit referenced that
undrawable.
Before the game. Delit said there was an interview with him, and he was like, "You're not going to go from here to there. Like we're building steps in a minute, and we're putting the right things in place, and the foundations being built. And then hopefully when the new coach comes in, we can kind of work on this," which kind of speaks to what you was just saying. Before I dive into the quotes from Bruno Fernandes on his obviously 250th appearance and Ruud Van Nistelrooy, Sam, I just want to because we kind of glossed over Ugarte, didn't really go in depth about his performance. 8 tackles won against Leicester. Since data collection began, no United players won more tackles in a Premier League game. When you talk about ball winning, right up there. 90 minutes played, 92% passing, big chance created, 8 tackles, 3 interceptions. This is exactly what we bought him for, isn't it?
This is what we wanted in the midfield, because you saw so many times in games where our midfield was just wide open and it's 2 passes and they're in on goal because you had nobody protecting that back line or in front of that back line, sort of cutting stuff out where needed. And you see now when you had Casemiro there alone, it's just too much space for him to cover. Like it was just too much, and he'd dive into tackles, get booked, get sent off, blah, blah, and it just made us look awful. Now he's right next to Ugarte, who's puts in that dog work. He gets about, he's got the energy, breaks up play, got the tackles, like you said, record amount of tackles. And he's got a pass on him as well. Like he's got a great pass on him, so he could get hold of the ball, and then he's got a switch to get it out to the attackers quickly. So I like it, man. Like he's really, really sort of growing into this team. And I said he's going to be my favorite player, and he's getting there, man. He's really sort of slowly getting into this team, and I can't wait to see what he does under Amorim. Like I think he's going to be a really important player for us, and I hope we can sort of use this as a stepping stone going forward to sort that midfield issue, because the midfield has been such a problem for such a long time, and I think he's part of the solution. We're not all the way there yet, but I think he's definitely part of the solution.
He's took his time, hasn't he, Civir, to get to that point.
He has, and I'm kind of glad that we were kind of patient with him.
Yeah.
I know some people online have already said like slating him. Like with football fans nowadays, if you don't play well in your first game, it's like it's over for you. But I think we've kind of been patient with him, and I think also being selected consistently has kind of built his confidence up. And even though today, like, he wasn't amazing, but he did what was needed.
Yeah.
And if we're getting this sort of, if this is the output from an average position, from an average performance, then there's a lot to be hopeful for going forward, because when he really has like a really, really good game and does that consistently, I think we'll be in a really, really good position in the midfield.
Yeah.
And I like what Sam said earlier about Casemiro, and stuff like that, because we saw today, like, Cass isn't, he's performing well offensively, but he's still making some of those silly, tackles and losing the ball and stuff like that. And then when he loses it, you still have that bit of assurance, because you know that Ugarte is sort of there. Because there were a few times that Cass lost the ball today, or he got bullied off the ball, but then you had Ugarte covering up for them. So yeah, it's really good to see those two. So,
yeah,
sort of form of partnership.
Yeah, I'm liking Casemiro. I mean, I remember I literally did the video when Ugarte first came in. I was talking about how I think those two together, Casemiro and Ugarte, can work really well, because Casemiro doesn't have that you don't have to worry as much, because he's got Ugarte behind him putting out fires, so he can be creative. He's got that freedom. If he needs to step in and tuck in, he can do that job as well. That's why it's balanced.
Kind of like with Bruno. It's kind of like how Bruno is.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of like acting both ways. Like,
talking about balance.
He's kind of coming down and just kind of stabilize thing going forward and then going back as well. So, yeah.
It's like the Matic, Herrera, Pogba midfield. You remember how well that worked for like about 7 or 8 games? It was just like a very balanced midfield. It's like that's what we're getting there.
Yeah, I'm a fan. Right, we've got some quotes coming in from Bruno Fernandes. I'll get into everyone's comments in a moment, so please do leave a like on the video for us and subscribe. Bruno saying it was a long time that I wasn't scoring, and now goals are coming in the last few games. Another clean sheet was important for us to bring back the fortress we had here. We have to keep doing that, and we have to improve. Ruud Van Nistelrooy fills the club. He loves the club. He wants to bring joy to the players. He brought everyone with a smile to the games. He just wanted us to enjoy it. We wanted to say goodbye as a manager for him properly, because he did good things for us. It's a new era. A new manager means everything changes, but what hasn't changed is that the club has to be back where it belongs. And then on Garnacho, Sam, because there was a situation where he didn't really celebrate his goal.
Yeah.
One, just before I get into the quotes, why do you think that was?
I've just seen the quote. I've just seen why.
Oh, go on.
Apparently, some fans were unhappy with him. Apparently, so Bruno told him to celebrate. It was something special. He's a special player. I believe that was What was it? Planet Faz dickhead, who was just unnecessarily negative to it. Like, why? Like, why
did you see someone put a clip up of him in 5-a-side? He was like, "This is the guy who's telling," and he was awful, like absolutely awful.
But like, if you criticize a player's performance and stuff like that, but like to go to the guy's face and go, "You need to be doing it," like you're a man, like just shut the fuck up, man. Like, enough with it. Enough with the bullshit. Like he's a young guy. We forget like Garnacho's 19, man. Like he's not a fully grown adult yet. He's still a kid, so he's affected by these things as much as footballers. Like Civir says it all the time. They're human beings. They're affected by things, and he clearly loves the club, and he clearly like wants to be good. So things like that get in his head. Like obviously, if you're an older player or stuff like that, you hear that shit all the time, and you sort of block it out, and you can sort of get him. But he's a young guy, so yeah, it's sad that he felt like he couldn't celebrate, but yeah, he got a great goal. I've just seen as well.
Sorry, go
on. Onana's got the most clean sheets in the league at a minute.
That's mad, that, isn't
it? Crazy.
I don't get that.
Bizarre. Yeah. But Sam, even Cass, like when he had the bad game against Liverpool, like his confidence like was shut down. So, like it's I understand with Garnacho, man. Like if those kind of things affected him, but yeah, it's what happens. But he scored, and he really needed that goal, and it was a good goal as well.
Yeah.
So that guy,
but I don't feel like you can let idiots like that affect you at a game, or like, because I know he's young, but if you want to be strong and resilient and at a club like this, and you're letting guys like that get into your head, like I don't think that's great from him personally, but I'm sure that goal will do him the world of good.
He's young. He's young. He'll bounce back.
Yeah. Exactly. And we put a poll up at the start of the match saying who was your man of the match: Ugarte, Mazraoui, Bruno, and Ahmad. And Ugarte's got 59%. Ahmad's got 23%, Bruno with 14%, and Mazraoui with 5%. For me, I'm not saying it because it was on that poll. I had it in my head before it came. Like, I know Bruno's got a goal and assist, or 2 goals, whatever you want to call it. I do think Mazraoui was man of the match. For you guys? Not Mazzarri. Ugarte, sorry, not Mazzarri.
Ugarte is mine as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Ahmad, for me, it was Ahmad. Like, he was just on point every time I saw him with the ball. Like, made very few mistakes, if any. Very few. Ugarte gave the ball away a few times and all that, but he did what he was supposed to do in terms of like putting out fires and stuff like that. Yeah. I think there's more to see from Ugarte. It was
definitely.
It was good. It was good, but there's more to see.
Craig the Unicorn saying under Eric Ten Hag, everyone was saying Ugarte was a busy of a signing. Truth is, he's one of our best players. Going very strong in that, Craig. Tim99 saying I've been top of the members league. I've slipped though. Yeah, there's been some mad results. I mean, Tottenham losing to Ipswich was one that was just crazy. Yep. City dropping points again. Aston Villa dropped points. Arsenal, I don't know what's going to go on with that. That's just kicked off on it. So
did the Ipswich win against Tottenham?
Yeah, 2-1.
They won.
Yeah.
Man, that's what I mean. It's so hard to predict the games this season. It's just crazy. Ugarte like a warrior, getting the ball back, is a monster. Amad Diallo, good, growing. Mazzarri, excellent. Casemiro, excellent. That's from Lucky Singh. Good evening to Nick, Sam, and Chivy. That's from Joshua Owen. Appreciate all you guys getting involved. Leave your man of the match in the comments for us. But yeah, that's kind of it now until, we've got the international break. We've got the new coach starting work officially tomorrow. Yep. So I'm sure he can't wait to get his hands on the players. And then we've actually got Ipswich really enough when we come back from the international break. So if we can keep everyone fit and available, Chivy, that Ipswich game is going to be interesting, isn't it, coming back?
Yeah, that's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be it's kind of like the perfect game to kind of start with. It's not like
I get it, yeah.
Yeah, not too difficult to start with and stuff, but yeah, be a good one. It remains to see whether Nistelrooy will be here or not under the new manager. I don't think he has. Here's the thing: I don't think Nistelrooy offers anything from a tactical point of view for the manager, but I think from a managerial point of view, in terms of the players.
Yeah,
I think he will benefit more from a managerial point of view, but tactically, I don't think there's anything he has to offer. And the only reason why a lot of us would like to see him stay is just because of the club legend. But if we're being honest, if he didn't have any sort of association with the club, I think there wouldn't be too much of a clamor for him to stay. But yeah, I'm just happy that it ended in a really good way, because I don't like how we ended with Oli. Ollie's been one of my favorite players, and then the way I associate him with Man United now is kind of, so I'm happy that it ended this way for Mr. Roy. But yeah, looking forward to Ipswich.
Are you going into confidence, Sam, a bit more optimistic into this break?
Yeah, it's nice to end on a win. It's nice to see Ruud stay unbeaten and stuff like that. And like Chivy said, I don't see him staying, to be honest. But stranger things have happened, and I'm looking forward to see what Amorim can do. He's not going to have much time with the players, though, is he? Because they'll be jetting off for international duty. Well,
yeah, I don't know who's going to be available or not. I don't know who's going on, but
he won't get much time. He'll have a couple of days just before the Ipswich game thing. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see if we see anything in that first game, or if it's just going to be small tweaks and then sort of build towards something. So yeah, I'm excited for it. Again, cautiously optimistic, because we've been here before. So let's go in with cautious optimism, I think.
When I saw a couple of players go down with injuries, I thought, I know what you're doing here. Just before an international break, I looked at Lisandro, Bruno went down. There was
Fergie used to do that, didn't he? He was just you're injured, right? And he'd be like, what? Yeah, you're injured, yeah? He was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know if I was buying it too much. I mean, fair play. They want to get I hope so as well. Get a step ahead from the new coach. Everyone else has gone off, haven't they, on the planes, and Lisandro's there like, hi, Ruben, how you doing? Do you want a cup of tea? Anything you need, you just let me know. Josh,
who was it that was injured? And then they asked Ten Hag, what's wrong with this guy? He was like, his leg.
Wan-Bissaka.
Was it
Wan-Bissaka? He just was like, what's up with his leg? And he's do you want to be more specific? And he went, no.
Okay.
Cheers.
We'll end on this, because this is, when you take it out of context, it makes it look funny. We're unbeaten in 4 games, and City have lost 4 games in a row, and Arsenal have lost a couple. So There we go.
End the season now. End the season now.
Yeah,
We're good.
end it now.
Yeah.
End it now. But yeah, of course, obviously you got Chelsea and Arsenal ongoing. I'm sure a lot of guys in the chat will want to watch that as well. So we'll leave it there. I'm going to be live for pros and cons tomorrow, which is going to be positive because I've got so many things to discuss. Yeah. Not the same old shit. Thanks, man. Thanks. Anyone wants to put any thumbs up in the chat, I'll take them. So I'm looking forward to that. But apart from that, stay locked in. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a thing because there's going to be loads of stuff over this international break with a new manager, quotes. You know, you're going to see reports. This guy's been frozen out. This guy's the new one. All that kind of just what to expect. So yeah, appreciate you guys. Hopefully you all had a wonderful weekend. United have just made it that slightly bit better. And me, Sam, and Civir will see you guys in the next one. See you in a bit.
Peace.